The Tickbalung, or werehorse, is a creature of Philippine folklore said to lurk in the mountains and rainforests of the Philippines. It is a tall bony humanoid creature with the head and hooves of a horse and disproportionately long limbs, to the point that its knees reach above its head when it squats down. It is believed that when it's raining while the sun is out, a Tickbalung wedding is going on. According to Philippine folklore, the Tickbalung is a malevolent creature that scares people at night and is sometimes responsible for killing livestock. The Tickbalung likes to boast of its speed and likes to challenge people to races. Tickbalungs are benevolent guardians of elemental kingdoms. They are usually found standing at the foot of large trees looking around for anyone who dare to trespass on their kingdom's territory. Tickbalungs are said to scare travelers or play tricks on them which will lead them astray from the right path. Such tricks will keep the traveler from returning to the path no matter how far he goes or where he turns. A traveler can return to the correct path and not be misled by a Tickbalung by wearing one's shirt inside out. Another countermeasure is to ask permission out loud to pass by, or not to produce too much noise while in the woods in order not to offend or disturb the Tickbalung. Duende. All Filipinos believe in duende, which often dwell in rocks and caves, old trees, unvisited and dark parts of houses, or in anthills and termite mounds. These tiny creatures show themselves only to a few people, often when they seem to like you. It is believed that they often shows to children and play with them. It is often told that they live in a paradise full of gold. There are playful duende. Once you are in the forest, you should respect and very cautious too. Before passing by to their inhabited areas, you should ask permission. This means you are giving respect to unseen creatures. They get angry if a trespasser destroyed or damaged their mount or the duende itself. The offender will then experience pain or swollen in any part of his body and illness that cannot be cured by the modern medicine, and use herbal medicinal plants and food offering. The best way to remove them is to perform a ritual that can be carried out by an albulario, healer or herbal doctors. There are good and evil duende, and they are either categorized as good or evil depending on their color. Black duende. People believe that it is one of the most evil duende, but they can bring luck to a person, family or business. Red duende. This is the most evil one. Never deal with them because they won't keep their promise. It is known to be very deceitful and untrustworthy. Never negotiate to this kind of duende. Even if they agree, they tend to not fulfill their promise. White duende. White duende is quiet and calm. Believed to be playful with young children. They have the ability to heal a person who is under the spell of a sorcerer or witch. Green duende. They are fond to young children. They bring luck to gamblers of any kind. But never trust them, sometimes they are naughty and crook. Unfriendly. If you want to speak to them, you have to patronize them. But no matter what kind of duende it is, be very careful when dealing with these creatures and respect them. Otherwise, they will curse you and it might cause of your sudden illness or death. Nunu Sapunso. Literally translates to ancestor on the ant mound. According to Filipino folklore, the Nunu Sapunso is a tiny old man who sits on top of a termite mound. Anyone who tramples the mound will suffer incredible illness ranging from painful growths on different parts of the body, inflammation, and even boils. Capri. The Capri is one of the most recognizable creatures from Philippine folklore. He may be described as a tree giant, being a tall about 7 to 9 feet, dark-colored, hairy and muscular creature. Capris are also said to have a very strong body odor and to sit in tree branches to smoke. Trees that are surrounded by fireflies are habitats of Capris and other mythological creatures. The Capri is a terrifying spirit that could also be a guardian of your home. Just like the Tickbalung, the Capri is a creature of the night, the time when he is most active. They are not necessarily considered to be evil. However, they may turn vengeful when the tree that they are inhabiting is cut down. Capris are notorious for hounding women they are attracted to. He appears to them at night seeking to make love. Like other creatures in Filipino folklore, the Capri has a host of powers, including casting a spell on humans so they will get lost or disoriented. Channock. The Channock is a vampiric creature in Philippine mythology that takes on the form of a toddler or baby. It typically takes the form of a newborn baby and cries in the jungle to attract unwary travelers. Once it is picked up by an unfortunate passerby, it reverts to its true form and attacks the victim. The Channock is also depicted to take malevolent delight in leading travelers astray or in abducting children. The Filipino folklore origin of the Channock is the Channock from Mindanao. The Channock is a vengeful spirit with a slit in her belly, from which you can see her dead unborn child. This creature roams at night seeking to rip out men's penises so they can no longer impregnate anyone. This story also leads us to believe that the Channock is actually the spirit of unborn children or those who were aborted. Diwata. The Diwata is a dryad of the forest. She is extremely beautiful. Typically she is considered as a type of powerful fairy and a type of ancestral spirit. She is neutral or benevolent toward humans, whom she sometimes gifts with favors or protection. Aswang. The Aswang is probably the most feared creature in Philippine folklore because of its aggressive nature and thirst for death. The Aswang is a shape-shifting monster who can appear as any animal. It typically appears as a wild boar, but it can also appear as a dog, cat, large bird or bat. In its original form it takes a human form but with red eyes, sharp teeth, and a very long tongue. There are many types of Aswang, all of which are able to transform into various creatures. The typical Aswang is a viscera sucker who preys on people by extending its long tongue through the roof of the house until it latches on a person or a pregnant woman's belly, attempting to eat the baby inside the womb. A white lady, or lady in white. Usually described as a type of female ghost dressed in all white and associated with some local legend of tragedy. Her story is fluid, changing to fit circumstances with each local history. Common to many of these legends is the theme of loss or betrayal of the husband or lover. Also common is the story that the woman in white is a restless spirit who has lost her children. She may also be a young woman who died before her time or a woman who was murdered and seeks vengeance. Whatever her reason may be, the result is the same. She walks the earth long after her death, searching for her children, her murderer, or anything else she needs before she can move on to the afterlife. Are you afraid of the ghost? Have you seen and experienced any? Share your comment below.